Sports Guy Jay from Atlanta said, seriously, is Kalen DeBoer in over his head at Alabama? And then Jay just left. He gave me no context. He didn't really tell me why he's asking this question. But he's not alone. Jesse reliably has informed me this was the most asked question of our last mailbag offering. People just doubting Kalen DeBoer out there. It's been a long road from that 2023 season at Washington. So I can't really tell. Are people asking this because of the Rose Bowl result? Are they asking this because of some transfer portal attrition? Is it a little bit of both, all just into one crimson and white sandwich of doubt, and you're just taking a big bite out of it? I think it's a little of both. This best I can tell, it's a little of both. All right, so Bama's lost some players in the portal. They recently added a couple of players in the portal. Stood to reason they were going to lose more than they added. That is backed up by data right now. So let me just walk you through something. I don't think Kalen DeBoer is in over his head is the first answer to that question. I think he's doing fine. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, they just won a playoff game. So I think he's doing okay. Could be a lot worse. He's doing okay there. But forget about Bama for a second, although this will apply to Alabama. Like, what do you think works? In college football, what do you think works? Winning games, right? How do you win games? What puts you in the best position to win games? So if you're down on Alabama right now and you're doubting Kalen DeBoer, I want to ask you, what about them are you doubting? And if you're saying, well, man, they're losing guys in the portal and they're not landing a bunch of big names in the portal, I want to ask, fair enough, what is your formula for success? How do you build a sustained winner? I'll tell you how I build mine, and I've shared this many times, so this isn't even specific to Alabama. I could just assume be talking about Georgia or Texas A&M or anyone else. My blueprint would be, number one, you got to kill it in high school recruiting, which means you've got to kill it in evaluation and development, which means land the guys. Bama's had 2 top 5 classes under DeBoer. And then you've got to develop them. So get the right players, develop them, and then thirdly, invest in them. Meaning, take most of your NIL money, most of your rev share money, and pay the players that you properly evaluated and you're in the process of developing to stay on your team, which is what their strategy there has been. And then the third component, hey, do me one favor right here. Look down. Are you subscribed to the channel? If you are, thank you. If you're not, please click subscribe. It helps us keep the show free and free of corporate interference. All right, that's it for me. Back to the clip. Is you supplement via the portal. If you can go get a Ty Haywood, go get a Ty Haywood. Noah Rogers, hey, solid hurdle in the bowl game. Why not? Let's go get him. We just lost Isaiah Horton. Let's backfill with Noah Rogers. That doesn't sound too dissimilar to what my actual blueprint would be. I think Kirby's doing something similar at Georgia. Like, that's what my blueprint would be. So I'm not about to say anyone's in over their head when all they're doing is kind of how I would run it if I were running a program. But here's the nut. I don't need to look at the comment section on this. I know what the replies are going to be. Josh, aren't you knocking Clemson for taking that very approach? No, I'm not. I'm knocking Clemson because they've just stubbornly not even looked the portal's way until recently, until this cycle, begrudgingly. I've knocked them for like almost in dereliction of duty fashion, not taking the portal seriously, which Georgia and Alabama don't do. But also, it doesn't matter if you're recruiting and retaining if you're not evaling and developing properly. And I think Clemson's fallen a little short there. And that's where I don't know. It still remains to be seen with Alabama. Like, of course, they love that they're signing top 5 classes. And, of course, they must believe in their guys enough to where they're investing in retaining those players. But you can't be watching Indiana do what they're doing right now. And you can't be praising Kurt Cignetti for having all these veteran guys that have been through the wars with him and he's retained that roster. You can't do that, but then look at Bama and say, what are they doing? Or to a degree, Georgia, what are they doing? Reinvesting in their recruiting classes? Banking on developing guys through their system? Ugh, what's wrong? What's happening there? Are they in over their heads? Like, you got to sing out of one hymnal or the other. So I don't think that about Alabama. Hey, man, that doesn't mean they're going to win the national title next year. I haven't even looked at what those odds are. But I don't think it's the craziest concept in the world to try and recruit really good high school classes, hit on those guys, develop them, and then invest in retaining them, and then sprinkle portal additions in. I can't get up in arms about that. It may be because I'm not so much in the weeds that I'm freaking out with every move. Like, I don't immerse myself in the portal, so sometimes I don't even know what's happening on that front. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the crisis at Alabama that some people in the comment section made it out to be. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe a little short. Maybe they'll go 6-6. Maybe I'm short-sighted there. Back in, I think, October, in the middle of the season, I presented a concept to you called the Magnolia Foundation. And I said that for the first time, we were partnering with a charity on the show. Matt Collins is the guy who runs Magnolia Foundation. Matt's been a longtime friend of the show, lives in nearby Cookeville. I believe he lives over in Cookeville. It's close to Nashville. So I told you the story. I'll very briefly tell you the story about how we came to know each other. So back when I first moved to Nashville in 2020, about 2 months into me living here, March 3rd of 2020, I remember the night very vividly, we had an EF4 tornado come through northern Nashville. It crosses the river. It stays on the ground for a long time. Ended up killing 23 people. Matt's little girl was one of those 23 that got killed. And they dealt with the unimaginable mental and also financial toll that takes on you, an emotional toll. And they looked at it as a family and said, this is horrific. And we're having to deal with this. But that means at any given time, many families in a country as big as the United States are dealing with losing a child. So Matt watches the show. So over time, I would mention that my building got hit in that tornado. I was out of my building for a week, which is an infinitely smaller price to pay compared to what some had to pay around here. But I've talked about it on the show. Well, he reached out and he told me the story of what his family had gone through that night and in the years afterwards. And he told me we started a foundation called the Magnolia Foundation, because what we learned from that is funeral expenses, commemorative care. Like, there are so many costs associated with going through a time where the last thing you should be thinking about is money, that we decided to do something about it. And so I said, we want to be involved. I mean, we got a huge audience. We've got a huge show. We want to be involved. And so we got involved this fall. Now, the way we got involved initially was we put merchandise in the Pate State store that features our branding and the Magnolia Foundation. And then we sent portions of the proceeds to the Magnolia Foundation. But then one night I said, maybe you don't want to buy a hat or a t-shirt. Maybe you just want to give directly. And I gave you the name of the website, which I'll do again, themagnoliafoundation.com/give. You can go there and give as much as you want to. He calls me a few weeks ago. Actually, he came to our live show in Atlanta. And he gave me some of the numbers for Christmas. And I just wanted to thank you guys because this is pretty mind-blowing. So over Christmas, just from our audience alone, we raised over $30,000 for Magnolia Foundation. They were able to help 191 families. These are all families who have lost children recently. They were able to help 191 families with Christmas presents, and we handled 25 family funeral expenses just from what our audience gave over that short span of time. So I am eternally grateful to you guys. They are too. They don't have a microphone like I do to express it, so I'm expressing it for them. Our work is not done with Magnolia Foundation. You can go there right now if you want to. themagnoliafoundation.com/give. I just wanted to give you a little update of what we accomplished over Christmas, because that's no small thing. That's actually a really big thing. So hats off to you guys, and we have many, many more ventures with Magnolia Foundation in the future.